name is Roland Lopez with the San Antonio Baptist Association, and we are here at the SABA, or San Antonio Baptist Association studios here in San Antonio, and we have an interview that we would like to share with you and how you might be able to be involved. We have with us, we have some guests with us, and first of all, let me introduce Jim Anton. Many of you might have known about Jim. Jim was the director of the Wayland Baptist University here in San Antonio for some years. Now he is retired, but in reality he's not. He's always involved in something in the Lord's work. And so this is Jim Anton right here to my right, and he will have the privilege to introduce to us two young ladies that are with an organization by the name of Ransomed Life. Jim, would you introduce our guest today?
My honor to do so, Roland. Thank you. And let me first say thank you to the San Antonio Baptist Association for helping us get the word out about this great organization. As Roland said, was with Wayland Baptist University, retired about 2 years ago, and this kind of fell in my lap. And I have, once I learned about what this organization is all about, I embraced it totally and jumped in with both feet. So it's an honor for me to be here. So let me introduce these guys to you. First is Sarasa Ingalls, who is the executive director of Ransomed Life. And both of these young ladies are going to tell you a lot more about Ransomed Life. And then Brooke Becker, who is let me get this right, the prevention education manager for Ransomed Life. So we'll just turn it over to them.
Great. Who's going to come first? We're just going to give it here to you. Okay, just go ahead.
So my name's Sarasa, and I've had the privilege of working and serving at Ransomed Life since 2015, which is when it actually started. And I'll just give a little brief history. So it started in 2015. A young lady had been trafficked in San Antonio, and her mother and counselor got together and just figured something had to be done. There was no agencies really doing this work at the time. Trafficking was just becoming like a topic that was talked about a lot in America. And so they launched Ransomed Life. We originally started with a mentor program, which is how I got involved, mentoring a young lady for a number of years, a long time, and completely changed my life. And I didn't want to leave the organization after that. And so then we've since then grown. We now have a full counseling center, and our prevention education is huge on the prevention side to prevent this issue, this trafficking from happening.
And my name is Brooke Becker. I oversee the prevention education team, and I got into this fight because I lived overseas for a little bit, and I thought this was an international issue, as some of the misconceptions we'll tackle in a little bit. And I came back to America thinking that was something that happened somewhere else, somewhere out there. I saw it internationally, but when I came back to America and realized it was happening here just much differently, I was able to have this position, and I've been here for a little over 2.5 years. So super excited to be here today.
Well, let me ask you, what is the trafficking and the exploitation? How is it looking like today? Either or, whatever.
Yeah, so I'll start with just kind of a very common misconception that we get about trafficking, and that is that we are in San Antonio, and San Antonio is close to the border. And so we must struggle with trafficking in San Antonio because of the border issue. And while smuggling and trafficking is absolutely happening at the border, that's not really what it looks like here in the U.S. It looks different. And so that's one of the most common misconceptions is, oh, it's a border issue. Oh, and while Ransomed Life absolutely would serve clients that come from the border, in 9 years, we haven't, because we are serving local San Antonio community clients. And so that's just a very common misconception. And then what it looks like today, I'll hand over to Brooke, but just really the technology piece has completely shifted what trafficking looks like today.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off of that, people often don't know the difference between smuggling and trafficking. And so smuggling being moved illegally across a border, where trafficking is something being sold. And so someone that is smuggled into America can 100% be trafficked, but those are not synonymous terms. And often the news, unfortunately, sometimes uses those terms synonymously. But some other common misconceptions is that this is something that often is referred to as like being taken or abducted. And that's just not the case. That according to the Center for Missing and Exploited Children, most youth go willingly with someone that they know or that they think they know or think that they can trust. Another caveat is that people don't have to be missing, or in our case, children don't have to be missing. They can still be exploited while living at home, while going to school every day, while having relationships with their peers. It could be that exploitation or trafficking is happening online, and a lot of it is happening through technology or online exploitation, or it could be that the trafficking is just, and exploitation is embedded into their daily lives, and they don't have to be locked in a dungeon, strapped down. That's not the reality. And so it is happening here, and technology has vastly changed it. It's not a white panel van pulling up into a store parking lot, snatching a young person. It is someone that is groomed over time, and that can be hours, days, weeks, or years. It really just depends.
Now, in this education that both of you are involved in, how does that look if a congregation, a local church, were to ask you to come to their church and speak to them about your organization? How would that look like? The reason I ask that is because I'm picking up some things that we all need to hear. But anyway, how would that look like?
Yeah, Ransomed Life has developed our prevention education program, I would say rapidly, fast. We evolve all the time. But we provided a 3-tier approach with churches. Our goal is to train everyone in the church system, very similar to the way that we train school systems. Our goal is to reach the pastoral team and elders first. The reason is because y'all are usually the people that a young person or someone from the congregation will come to first if they need help. And so if you are aware of the issue, then the likelihood of a parent or a volunteer coming to you, you can also help them if a child were to outcry or you were to see something that just seems a little bit off. The next group that we love to talk to are the parents and the volunteers. That can be at the same time, or that can be done separately. And then we like to train the youth. We actually have a specific youth presentation called Lures and Lies. And that presentation is intended for middle school and high school students. And we are in the works and almost done developing an elementary age presentation. Unfortunately, and fortunately, that is going to be targeting that 3rd through 5th grade age range. And so just to kind of concise that all down, that's the way that we talk to churches, but we do have different presentations that target each of those different groups of people in the way that they need to be equipped. So the youth are not going to be hearing what adults hear. They're going to be hearing what they actually would hear from a predator, and what that predator would do to get them and convince them or manipulate them into making decisions that maybe they wouldn't do if they knew what the trap is that is in front of them. And then pastorally, equipping them to know what are the signs of a young person that might be in trouble. How do you report an outcry? What are you supposed to do with the information? Is there help out there like Ransomed Life? And how you can get connected to us as an organization as well. Wonderful.
And this is something that we are definitely desire to promote in our congregations. And is there a charge for instance, for you to come over to the church? How does that work? If a pastor says, look, this is a must, second to none, but what is it going to cost us?
I'll let Teresa. Okay. She's the one that manages the money.
There you
go. The money. So we have put into place where there's a 30-mile radius around the city center of San Antonio. And so if you're within that 30-mile radius, we will come and do this presentation at no cost. With that being said, we always ask for an honorarium because it does cost us to come. And I am not shy about asking for money because of what the money goes to and what it supports. And so the second piece of Ransom Life, we have our prevention education, but the second piece is our counseling services. And that's for 11 to 24-year-olds if they've been trafficked or exploited or they're at risk to being trafficked. And so it's because of donations and honorariums and the support that we get from our community that we're actually able to scholarship that for the families. So the families are not having to pay for those counseling services, which, as everyone knows, are very expensive. Counseling can be very expensive. And so it's through our community and through those honorariums and donations that we're able to scholarship that so that the families don't have to pay for that. So we will absolutely come speak for free. But we do always ask for an honorarium.
Sure. And wonderful. And how can our pastors, our churches get in touch with you? Could you give us your telephone number, or maybe our media person can have right at the bottom of the screen to have your telephone number, contact information, so that pastors might get in touch with you. And so give us that information.
Do you want to give that? Do you want to give your number?
Sure. So our website is super easy to use. It's amazing. So if you go to ransomedlifetexas.org, at the top right, you will see different buttons that you can go to request a speaker, which directly comes to me. There is a real person on the other end of the phone. I always call people and they're like, wow, you responded. I'm like, yes, we respond to every request. Request a speaker, there's a chart there. You can see all the different presentations that we offer to the community, as well as medical professionals. We didn't get to talk about that, but everybody licensed in the state of Texas does need a required human trafficking training, and we do offer that, but you'll see that on the chart. Underneath that chart, you'll see a form. Probably takes 3 minutes to fill out with the name, date, information that you need to request a speaker. If you have any issues, you can directly call me, 210-749-2118. And then as far as our main number, will go directly to Ceresa, which is on the bottom of our website as well. But do you want to give that number?
Yeah, it's 210-514-4384. And like Brooke said, our website is filled with lots of very important information. We have a whole knowledge hub. If you want to get into the nitty-gritty details of what trafficking is, what it looks like, statistics, all of that can be found on our website. And we like to talk, when we talk to churches, just please use us as a resource. Like, we are fully aware that this is a scary topic and that parenting in this day and age is scary. And so please use us as a resource on the prevention side so that we can come bring this information and equip your people. And then also on the counseling side, we have those counseling services. This is our specialty. It's what we do, and we do it really well. And so we like to tell churches just to use us as a resource.
Good. And I want to encourage our churches. This is what we're all about here at the San Antonio Baptist Association, is to be able to get the word out of the resources that are available to us and to our congregations, so that we might be able to have a much more healthier church. And Jim, thank you so much for coming in and introducing these two young ladies. Have done a wonderful job. We'll continue praying for the organization. Is there anything that you'd like to share?
Let me just close by being a member of the board of directors of this organization. Let me just say that, as Ceresa said, that it is this organization is fully funded through donations. There are some upcoming events that I think it's worth talking about. There's a golf tournament coming up that is a fundraiser. There's a prayer breakfast in August. So I would encourage you to go back out to the website as well and check those out if you're interested in participating in any of those. And then just let me once again say thank you to SABA and to you, Roland, for helping us do this.
Well, thank you so much. Now, there is a breakfast coming up. When?
So August 13th.
Okay, August the 13th.
August 13th is our prayer breakfast, and we have a speaker, Dr. Greg Williams. He's out of the Houston area. He's written 2 books. He has a radio show. He's a huge advocate. He's a survivor himself of child abuse and exploitation. And so he is coming to speak at our prayer breakfast, and we are very excited about that.
Now, where will this take place?
It's going to be at CBC, so Community Bible Church at 1604-281, right there. And so we would love to have any and all churches join us. A lot of our churches sponsor and buy a table and then fill it with their people. So there's lots of opportunities for that as well.
Wonderful. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with our folks today that maybe we've skipped, or something that's come to your mind that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I just want to say that usually 100% of people that see our presentation learn something. And this is for everyone. Even if you are a grandparent, you are still a child advocate until the Lord calls you home. So please reach out to us. I always tell people it's a little daunting to just schedule a presentation and not know what it consists of, or not know who's going to be doing the presentation, what's the process to set it up, and so, or what's the process for counseling, what does intakes look like. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. I come to churches, I go to schools, I have informational meetings, I hop on Zoom, I meet you there. Whoever needs to talk to someone to make it happen, that's my unofficial fine print title, is make it happen. So anything we need to do to make it happen, please just reach out and we will do that for you.
You will see the contact information here at the bottom of your screen. Thank you so much for being with us. May the Lord bless you. And once again, remember, call these individuals. They'll be ready to serve you and your church. Thank you so much. God bless.